I get a lot of phone calls all the time from couples, and they ring me and the wife will say, "Me and my husband, we've been drifting apart over the last few years, and we're just sort of drifting apart." I hear it all the time. What can you do about it? Why do people just naturally drift apart? I hear it a lot, and it's just human nature, first of all. So don't get too stressed about why people drift apart. Humans drift apart naturally. Like, if you think to yourself about your first best friend, your best friend you had in school, are you still best friends with that person? Do you still even talk to them? I'm not best friends with that person anymore. I don't talk to him anymore either. Even though we were inseparable when we were 10 years old. What changed? We both did. We both changed, we both grew apart. And really, if you look at that, that's really why, and that's really how you don't grow apart from your partner. You don't grow apart, you grow together. So how do you grow together? If you watch all my relationship videos, you read my books, and you really follow my work, if you follow and put it all together, that is a really good way not to grow apart. If you master masculine and feminine energy, if you master effective communication, if you master all these little things, you have a 10 out of 10 sex life, you do hobbies together, all these sort of things, you won't grow apart. But let's break that down a little bit. One of the first steps to not growing apart is having a common goal. Yeah? Through history, some people might have said we have a common enemy. If you have a common goal, you're both working towards one thing, and there's lots of successful people in the world, and the husband and wife are both working together for that common goal. Yeah, you got Tony Robbins and Sage, you got Grant Cardone and his wife Ella. There's so many examples here of two people working together, or at least semi-together in a business, and they're working towards that success every day. See, they've got a common goal. It doesn't have to be in business, even though business is a very good goal to work towards, because it's hard to perfect. It's hard to get to that level of success because it's so difficult. But it could be hobbies, it could be sport, it could be your kids, it could be anything. You got a dual hobby, you got a dual goal. Yeah, you're working towards something together. If two people are working towards something together, it's hard not to grow together. Does that make sense? So, like that saying, yeah, opposites attract, but similarities are what bond us. So what similarities do you have with your partner? What similarities do you want to have? The second step is dual hobbies. Yeah. So dual hobbies is hobbies you like to do. So even if they're not necessarily hobbies, just activities that you two can do together. So like about a month or two ago, me and my partner went and played golf. Both of us are terrible at golf. We never play. We might play once a year. But it's just really just for having fun. Have a few laughs, have a few drinks, hit the ball in all directions, just be stupid, but it's fun, right? And it's a good chance to bond together. The next month we might go and play squash, and the next month we might go and do bowling or climb a mountain. Like, it doesn't need to be things, it could be things you only do once a year, but if you do them together, you're bonding over something, and make it strange. You know, one month you might do jet skiing, one month you might go do go-karts. You know, just have fun with it. Life's meant to be lived, so enjoy that. Pick something weird to do every month with your partner. That's a really good way to grow together, and it's going to create those really good memories too, even if it's a mini holiday, anything like that. One of the third things is having a great sex life. Yeah, if you have a really passionate, good sex life with your partner, that relationship's going to get a lot stronger, and you're not going to want to grow apart. And it really comes down to attraction and masculine and feminine energy and all these sort of things. If you like spending time with your partner and they like spending time with you, you're going to want to spend more time together. If you both hate each other, you're not going to want to spend time together, and you're going to grow apart even faster. So you got to constantly be working on that attraction, work on getting that attraction to a 10 out of 10, work on getting that sex life to a 10 out of 10, work on effective communication, work on mastering masculine and feminine energy. I know all these things are hard, guys, and it's hard to master them. Like, technically, you may not ever be able to master them, but you will get a really good understanding of what they're all about. Okay? If you really have a look at some of my other videos, and I really explain deeply about what each one of these things is and how to master it. It is difficult, and it takes a lot of people a long time. But with my help, you can get there, okay? And one of the last steps in growing together is kind of self-explanatory. It's just getting a 10 out of 10 relationship. If your relationship's a 10 out of 10 and you're working on it all the time and you're constantly looking at it, ways to improve it, using effective communication, getting all the different components to a 10 out of 10, then you're not going to grow apart. Because if you're growing together and you're using all these tools effectively and using these right methods and the courtship never ends, you're going on dates all the time and all this sort of stuff and doing these fun activities and having common goals and all these other great things, you're not going to grow apart. You're going to be tight together forever. But be aware, if you don't aggressively go after this and try to make your relationship a 10 out of 10, you will eventually grow apart. It's just human nature. That's what humans do. And it's ingrained in our nature, and it has been for thousands of years. Okay? I won't go into the exact history of human nature now and why we drift apart, but it's just human nature, and it's deeply ingrained into who we are for thousands of years as animals, really. So you have to fight against it, unless nature will take over and you'll just initially drift apart and find another partner. Thousands and thousands of years ago, the average length of a relationship was about 2 years. If you want to break that and you want to fight against nature in that department, you have to effectively look at all the different things, unless nature will take over and you will succumb to the 2-year trap and drift apart at 2 years. It happens. And there's exactly the reason why. I won't go into it today, but there's an exact reason why this happens, so don't feel bad about it. Guys, if you've got any other questions, make sure you let me know, and I'll be happy to help.